Guys, as you may have seen in my previous videos, we have been talking about real estate transactions. So basically, a lot of Filipinos actually work in order for them to actually purchase a property that they can call their own here in Canada. Now, of course, I have experienced people or buyers or Filipino clients or clients for that matter who actually have purchase the house, okay, for themselves. Of course, what regardless of the house, the kind of house that you're buying, that's your prerogative. Be it a single detached garage, a front attached garage, or if, for example, a townhouse, a condominium, or apartment, or what have you, that is your prerogative. As I have discussed this with the realtor, my good friend Catherine Manigo, you just have to be careful in buying a property. First, you have to make sure that the property that you're buying, is something that is livable. Okay, of course, that's given, but you have to look, especially for if this is not a brand new built house, okay, make sure that you bring in an inspector, a real property inspector, to actually inspect, okay, the house, because there are defects that might be hidden from your plain sight, which you might miss if you don't bring a real property inspector. Of course, he will check if everything's working correctly, or it's more of like buying a car or a vehicle, wherein, of course, at plain sight you don't know, and that's the reason why you bring in a mechanic, in order for that mechanic to inspect the vehicle for any hidden defects. Now, of course, that's on you as well. You run the risk of owning a house with hidden defects if you don't have any inspection done. If, for example, you are buying a new property has warranties, just like our house. We have warranties for it. It could be 1 year, 10 years, 2 years, 5 years. It depends on the builder, it depends on the legislation provided in the province. So basically, that's fine. But other than that, the more pressing issue, or the more pressing topic that I would like to discuss with you is more on the um, applying for a mortgage. I would always advise for you to go for pre-approval first before you scout a property. Why? Because this will definitely save you from a lot of trouble, from a lot of stress, from a lot of headaches, just in case. What do I mean by this? If you are planning on purchasing a property, of course, we have our own dream house as we speak, okay? But the problem is we don't know how much we're going to be approved of. Okay, we don't even know if the property that we wanted is a 500,000 property, and then eventually when we apply for a mortgage, we are only approved of a $400,000 or a $300,000 because based from our income. We don't know, okay? It is a good practice for me to go to the bank, okay, to any mortgage specialist for that matter, or directly to the bank and ask for a pre approval, because you would know your purchasing capacity or purchasing power by then. Because, of course, here in Canada, it depends on your credit score. So basically, the bank will have to know the risk, the exposure that they will be involved in, just in case. And that's the reason why they will tell you, okay, Irvin, this is your initial approval. You are approved of this amount. If, for example, you are approved 500,000, then go for it, right? Go look for a property that is worth 500,000. If you have enough cash in your bank account, or if you have cash stock that you are keeping in your house, then go for it. As long as you can afford to purchase a house, that's fine. Now, if you don't have anything, let's say you're not liquid, you don't have any cash in your bank account, or hidden inside your house, then look for a house that has a price range or that has the price range as the same as your approved mortgage amount. That way it will save you from a lot of trouble. Other than that, what I would like to discuss to you about, when you are approved of mortgage, of course, you might be able to put out a down payment of 20%, 5%, but the minimum is 5%. Okay. The point here being is that if, for example, you are approved of, let's say, 500,000, sometimes, if not most of the times, you are not approved, or the bank will not release the entire 500,000. Especially when you are putting a down payment less than 20%, because when you are putting a down payment which is less than 20%, you will be required to pay or purchase an insurance wherein, for example, you default in paying it, your insurance will cover that. The point here being is that if, for example, you purchase that insurance from the lending institution, the financial lending institution, then definitely that lending institution will deduct that amount that you will be spending or in purchasing the insurance from the amount of proceeds that will be released to you. Your $500,000 approved mortgage will not be given to you 500,000 because of that amount. They will have to deduct that from the 500,000, and let's say, for example, 15,000 or 20,000, then they will have to deduct that from the 500,000, and they will basically give you $480,000. And if you don't have that enough money, if you don't have the 20,000 to cover, because considering that the purchase price is 500,000 and the mortgage amount is, the proceeds released is just $480,000, the seller will be expecting 500,000. Okay, so you will have to come up with the $20,000. If you don't have that enough money, then that's on you. Neither your lawyer nor the seller can do anything for you. It will just fall through if you don't keep up. So my advice is that when you are trying to purchase a property, make sure that you keep a certain amount of money in your pocket. Don't try to pay off, or don't try to withdraw all the money and pay it off, okay? Because at the end of the day, there are unexpected costs. Any purchase of real estate property will have to go through a lawyer at least. And of course, when lawyer handles these kinds of transactions, you have to pay for the legal fees. Not just that, you also have to pay for any disbursements. For example, any application fee to be made to the land titles office, any other taxes for that matter. Of course, property taxes are being paid by the seller themselves in the beginning of the year. And then basically, if they have paid the taxes for the entire year, you will have to pay for a proportionate amount of taxes commencing from the time that you start residing in that property. For example, if you purchase a property and you are moving in on July 1st, so that's half of the year, then let's say, for example, the property tax is $1,000. The seller paid for it, then starting July 1st, considering that the seller has paid for the property taxes for the $1,000, 50% of that you will have to pay it back to the seller. So basically, and say for example $500. So basically, other than the $500,000 as the purchase price, the seller is expecting to be paid the property taxes of $500. And then of course, other than that, the disbursements, for example, any printing or any other disbursements that the lawyer spends in these kinds of transaction, they will charge it to you. Okay, title insurance, everything. So basically, you have to be aware. If, for example, you are purchasing a property, you also have to consider whether there are improvements that you need to do in the house. Especially in my case, considering that our house is brand new, we have to go for landscaping. We have to go for final grade. And then, of course, that is not included in the sale. So we have to do it ourselves. For example, the air conditioning unit is not included. So if we want to have an air conditioning unit installed, we have to pay for that ourselves. Fencing, for that matter, is not included here as well. I mean, generally speaking, in our experience, fence is not included, so we have to pay it, okay, when we want to build it. And so basically, those unexpected costs, you have to make sure that you have sufficient money in order for you to spend on that one, because there are certain requirements provided for by the local government when you have to do the final grade and you have to do the landscaping. It could be in Edmonton, it should be 1 year, within 1 year from the sale. You have to make sure that you have done the final grade, and within 1 year as well, you have after the final grade, you have to do the landscaping. Otherwise, there are some transactions wherein they make the buyer make a down payment for the landscaping that has to be done within a certain amount of time, within a certain period of time, and if you cannot do that, then they will forfeit that. But if you are able to do that within the time frame, then they will refund that to you. So you just have to be aware, because there are some costs, unexpected costs, that are attached to the purchase. So don't put everything in one basket. Don't try to put your entire money to paying off the mortgage. Trying to make sure to pay before the closing date, because you have to also consider the expenses after the closing date. And yeah, so as a lawyer, I am responsible for doing that, and I am fortunate enough to have clients, Filipinos or otherwise, who have come up to me and say, "Irvin, I want you to be my lawyer. Please handle that." For me, if there's anything that separates me from other lawyers, is that I make it personal. Every time I would be, I understand the hardships or the difficulties in inviting clients to our office just to sign certain documents. Because, of course, especially Filipinos, if they go out from work, that's that's a loss for them, because they're not going to earn it from that. And that's the reason why I made sure that if you are my client, I can come to you to have you sign the documents at your most convenient time. For example, if you're not working on a weekend, then I can come to you on a weekend. If you are more available on a weeknight, then I will definitely come to you on a weeknight. As long as you sign these documents at your most convenient time, I will adjust to it, because I don't want you to go out from work and lose some hours of the opportunity to be paid, right? So again, if for example Irvin, I would like to retain you and I want you to act as my counsel for purchases of a real estate property, can you actually do sales as well? Yes, I can do the sales. In fact, I can do both. Say for example, you are selling your house because you have found a property. I can do both. I can act for you in selling your house, and I can act for you in purchasing the property. Irvin, for example, I have a friend who's buying my property. I'm selling, I want you to be my lawyer. Can you also act for the buyer? Yes, I can do that as well. I can definitely do that. I can act and I can represent both of you. So if there are any other questions, if you want to reach out to me, again, my contact details are posted down below. Please feel free to contact me anytime. And then I will be glad to assist you. Again, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for allowing me to explain this to you. Hopefully I am able to be of help to you wherever you may be in Canada. So thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video to your friends, subscribe to my channel, and click on that notification bell down below so that you'll be updated in our future videos. Okay, I'll see you in our next videos. See you guys.